All right, all right. This is Kim Klaver. We're starting here in just 1 second. If you all could, can you all hear me? Tell me that you can hear me in the chat. Let's see if we get the chat going here. If you guys would come into the chat, can you see and hear? Whoop. See and hear. No, we'll try here. All right. And where you see at the bottom where it says set it to everyone or hosts and panelists, can you guys set it up to everyone? See at the bottom or wherever you are, if you're on your phone or something, just go ahead and look where, when you type into the chat box, if you guys, hey, Dawn, my gosh, long time no see. And let's see here. Good to see you, Suzanne, as I'm Marianne. I'll tell you guys, all my faves are here. So hop into the chat. I'll start the slides up here in about 30 seconds and we will get the show on the road. While you're in the chat, I have a question for you. Maybe you could answer. This today's show is about how to enroll, how we enroll people and how we enroll 3, 4, 5 per week, every week into the program. And I mean, you know, paying customers. So would you just tell me, since you're here to learn how to do that, how to enroll people, which means sign them up and they buy product, right? What would you say is the obstacle that you're having to getting people to enroll? If you were to say, well, you know, the reason I'm here, I want to learn how to enroll because I'm not enrolling. And the reason I think I'm not enrolling is blah, blah, blah. Yo. So could you just tell me what obstacle you are having with enrolling that is keeping you from enrolling enough people to make your business really work and take off the ground? Or if you have people that they're not doing it, what's the reason? Okay. I will get the slides here. And then we will get the show on the road. It's okay. Hold 1 second. I'll get this. I'll get the so what are the reasons? You're new and starting out. Okay, great. What about people that are not? Good. Nice to see you guys. So what we're doing right now, while I am finding my slide, is we are let's see here if I can get this going. All right. So you are screen sharing. Whoop. Okay. So what are you guys seeing? Can you tell me what you can see on the screen right now? Do you see something that says, how to enroll people? Can you guys tell me that, or have I got the wrong thing up? What am I sharing? Can you tell me? Let's see. What are we seeing? Are you seeing how to enroll people? Tell me what you see on the share, on the screen share. Lots of screens. Okay. Let's see here. We'll try this again. Here we go. Lots of stuff here, right? Okay. Tell me now. What do you see now? Do you see just one thing now? How to enroll people with a red shoe? Yes. All right. All right. I can hear and see you. Okay. Well, you're going to see me in just a second. I'll get my camera working. All right. So would you just continue to answer the question, Marianne? You can kind of be there and see we got everybody. This is how to enroll people. It's not how to talk to people. It's not how to, you know, get passionate, all get your underwear up in a bunch. It's how to enroll people into your business. And that means customers and or reps. So what's the obstacle that you've got right now? What do we have? No obstacles? Yeah. Can you hear and see? All right, let me get the get the video working here. All right, see if we can see. There we are. All right, so do we have any obstacles? What are the obstacles that you all have? You can see the slides, right? Because we're going to get the show on the road right now. What's your biggest obstacle right now for enrolling people into the business? Anybody want to tell me what they are? What are they? The cost of your product, okay. Connecting with the right people, okay, good. What else? Just tell me what the issue is, because you wouldn't be here if you didn't want to know how to enroll people. So tell me what your issues are. I mean, I've got some things to tell you that I think will surprise many of you, but I'd still like to know what your issues are. So if there's one that I haven't got covered, I can help you with it. So getting to yes. Okay. Okay, let's see here. I want people interested in the business, not in the product. Okay, Suki, that sounds good. Would you change your settings here so that you respond to everyone? I want people interested in the business, not the product. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Remind me of that, because I didn't have a specific point about that, but I'm going to help you with that today. Getting my best offer in front of the right people. Okay. No system that I have used works consistently. Well, the system is, don't overrate the system. I mean, the bottom line is that it's more about values than it is about specifically your product. I'm going to show you that here, because we enroll people, I mean, almost every day into any business I have ever done. We have built, this is Kim Claver, and I have built 6 of these over the last 27 or 8 years, every few years. And I have gotten to the top of the pay plan in all the companies, usually faster than anyone else. So we do know how to enroll both recruiting and customers. And I'm just asking you, yo, Rajesh, good to see you. Getting the right people who want the business and want to run, not just sign up. Yeah, really, huh? Sign up and do nothing. Okay, I'm going to show you how to enroll people, how we do that, and how many of you are good to kind of be part of this thing and respond in the chat, because if you do that, I'll be able to help you directly, okay? And how many of you have been in the business, in the network marketing business, say for at least 5 years or more? Let me see, how many have been in at least 5 years? Yep. All right, 5 years, 10 years. Okay. Let's see, look at your numbers. Y'all want to pop Lisa, 14 years. Yeah, it's quite a thing. All right, let me show you. I was going to do a poll, but I don't know how to work the poll here. So I'm just going to ask you on the next slides, I want to ask you this. When you decide on a company or something that you're going to market, what matters more? Okay. Now I'm going to ask you these and then just tell me what it is. I'll give you 3 choices. Okay. I'm going to, I said I should have figured out how to do the poll, but that's okay. What matters the most? The company? Okay. I'm going to give you 3 choices. The pay plan? Well, I'm going to give you 4. Okay. Okay. See the pay plan. The product. And then the last choice is going to be the problem. The product or whatever solves. Okay. So which one of these would you say matters the most to you when you're when you chose a business or choose a business, something that you're really going to get behind and go full time? What matters to you more based on what you know right now? The company, the pay plan, how what type of pay plan it is or how much they give you, the product, or the problem that the product solves. Which of these is the most important to you? Okay, we have problem so far, product, okay, the problem, any others? Just tell what like it is. Okay, the company, the pay bill, the product, or the problem that it solves. Okay. Any more? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. We can say that. You can, I guess I should number them. 1, 2. Next time I'll have that thing ready. But this works. Y'all are intelligent. You can see what we're doing here. What's your number one choice? The problem. They love everything. My product is high ticket. Honey, my product's high ticket too. We have a program, well, relatively high ticket, $15,000, $15,000 US. That's relatively high ticket. We have low ticket stuff as well, under $1,000. Okay, so number 4, the problem. So you see, we have a lot of different options, right? Number 4. Okay, any other votes before we go on? Hey, German, long time no see. Okay, anybody else? Okay, problem, product, pay plan. We don't have too many pay plan choices. No company choices. Okay, because the thing is, what you want to do is ask yourself right now, because at the end we're going to do this again and see where you are. Ask yourself, whichever one of these things right now you think is most important, to you, to your success. You have to ask yourself, when you're making contact with people or making posts, or you're writing emails, or you're doing texting, or you're calling people, what is the thing that you're talking about first, the most? Is it the company, the pay plan, the product, or the problem that the product solves? Okay. Any more? Let me see if we got any more here, and then I'll give you the stuff. Company with a problem. Company with a problem-solving product. Okay, that's got a lot of it in there. Okay, Joanne Moore, got it. All right, everybody ready? You got your little pad of paper? You're going to need that for sure. All right, so let's talk about business. How many of you want to make this a full-time business? Just say full-time, FT. Let me see how many people would like to be full-time if you could make it financially work. Just say FT, FT, FT. Not all of you are going to want to do this, okay? Some of you want to be just part-time, no problem. Just, I'm asking, who wants to be full-time in this? If you could make enough money doing what you're doing, you'd want to go full-time. Okay, some of you guys want to go full-time. All right, so let me explain to you something about, good, that's very good. Let me explain to you something about a business. Any business, by the normal definition of business, people set up a business because they think they can solve a certain problem. Okay, that's what they think they can do. A business will create a product because they think it will solve a problem. A business redefines a product, or makes a better product, or makes a copy of a product, somebody else's product, because they think they can make money with it because it solves a certain problem. So can you all agree that a business, which is what you're talking about, you'd like to have a full-time business doing this, that a business is set up because the business wants to solve some kind of a problem? Tell me yes or no if you understand this. I mean, they sell products, but because they think that product solves the problem better than some existing product. Are you with me? Tell me yes, you got this. So if you're doing this as a business, what is the problem that you solve? That's the question I have for you. Okay. You don't need to answer right now, because many people don't even know what problem they solve. But I'm asking you, what problem do you solve with your business or your products? Anybody know what it is? What's the problem you solve? Let me give you an example. Oh, so you need to know, what is the problem that you solve? If we agree, people who have a business, they set it up because they're committed to solving certain problems or hitting certain challenges. Okay. So if you're doing this as a business, which you just said, some of you want to go full time, what is the problem that you solve for people? not for you, but it's not about your rank. No, what's the problem you solve for somebody else for which they would pay you money? Okay, are you with me? And then what is your special sauce? What is your edge that makes you a different alternative than some other product or some other way that somebody could solve the problem, right? Like there are many brands of cars. We got with this? You see where we're going with this, right? What makes you different? You and your program and product, what makes you different from other options that people have? Are you aware, all of you, that whatever you help people do, that people have many options? Like there are different options to weight loss issues. Yes or no? There are different options for cars. Yes or no? There are different options for, hats and scarves and accessories and computers. Are we? Yes. Let me see here. Are you still with me? Everybody see that? So you have to ask yourself, it's not what makes yours better. Better is not the answer. That's very subjective. What you want is what makes my solution to the problem different from other options that people have. Because we are, after all, we're just an option. I'm an option for you. Some of you guys have other people that teach you stuff and that you give money to for training. And some people come here and they give it to me and I'm the one for them. It's all different depending on how you're different. And each person here has something that's called your sheep. You know how in the Bible, Jesus said, I don't have everybody, but my sheep hear my voice. What is that? Well, the ones that hear his voice, that's who he's going to get to follow him. You will have people that follow your voice. They will be your sheep. I have my sheep. We all have people that will follow us if they just knew what we did for them. Do you all believe that that might be possible? Tell me yes or no. Do you believe that there are those people out there? If they just knew about you and what you had, do you believe that? Do you have your sheep waiting? You just don't know how to call them? All right. All right. Because remember, everybody has that. Here, what makes yours different? Okay, here, we got to fix that here. I am actually literate to some degree anyway. Okay. So let's take an example. Good. All right. Like Tesla. All right. What is the problem that they solve for whom? Who knows what the problem is that Tesla solves? Whether you like them or not is totally irrelevant. They're a massive force in the marketplace. I live in the Los Angeles area. All I ever see are Teslas. So whether you like them or not is immaterial. Separate your emotions from the fact of the matter. What problem does Tesla solve for whom? Does anybody know? Electric cars is what they have. It's not the problem they solve. What's the problem they solve? What's the problem Tesla solves, and for whom do they solve it? Does anybody know? Let's see what we got here. What do you got? A type of energy. Okay. You don't have to walk. Okay. Yeah, but what is the problem? And for whom do they solve it? See, this is very tricky because people in our business, internet marketing, affiliate marketing, network marketing, are never taught to focus on the problem that a product solves. And yet that is why everybody buys. People don't buy products. No, they buy it because they want better teeth. So they buy a toothpaste or they want a liquid. So they want stuff, and products do the solution, the solving of the problem. Anybody can guess yet? Okay, what is the problem that they solve? What did you have? Does anybody have the problem that Tesla solves? Does anybody here own a Tesla? Does anybody own a Tesla or ever had know anybody owns a Tesla? Okay, people who battery and not petrol. Okay. That's kind of there. Yeah. Okay, well, next time ask them why they drove a Tesla, why they bought a Tesla. And they'll tell you what the problem is, that whoever that is, your boss, he had a certain problem that made him decide that is the kind of car he's going to get versus any other kind of car. So let me give you an example. Let me see if you have any more suggestions here. People that are bored with plain electric vehicles. Okay. My brother has a few of them. Okay. Yeah, you have to ask him why he bought them. Say, why'd you buy those? And the answer will probably not be that it is an electric car, because there are others. Okay. So let's take some guesses here. Why do people, what's the problem Tesla solves? Okay. It's for people who worry about polluting and warming. That is one big group of people that buys Teslas. They worry. The problem is that they worry about pollution and warming. They think, pollution is a big problem. That's a problem for some people if they worry about it. None of you may worry about that. If you don't own a Tesla or an electric car, that's probably not on your agenda, and it doesn't matter. Right? So what is the problem? It's people who have this problem. They worry about pollution and warming, number one. And they believe that gas cars are bad for the environment. Are you with me? This is characteristics of the people. We're talking about the problem, not the features of the product. What's the problem that people have? Well, people who worry about pollution and warming, that's like they worry about child trafficking, people who worry about, beetles and trees. If you're in the farming world, right, you worry about beetles getting into trees. I want you to understand the difference between a problem a person has, which is a worry or a concern or a cause, and a product. Do y'all see that? So like you're talking about environmental impact. That is not a problem. That's a statement of something that somebody is doing. So you want to figure out what's the problem a person has, and the product is not the problem. It might be the answer to a problem, but it isn't the problem. Are you all getting this? It's for people who worry about these things. That is their problem. What are the movies for? For people who like to see movies? No, not really. Of course, but that's not the real reason. What's the real reason? They're bored. What am I going to do? I'm bored. I got 3 hours. What should I do? And there are many options, one of which is go see the new Avatar movie or do this or do that. But movies are there to help people whose problem is they're bored and they want some new excitement in their life. So it's not for people who want a movie. No, it's people who are bored and now they're looking for some way to solve that problem. And movies is one of them. How many people get this point? How many people get that? The difference between the problem and the product. The problem is not the product. Okay, so it's a problem. They worry about this. So they're going to do something about it and look for a group to join. But we're talking about Tesla. Who is their market? People who worry about pollution and warming, people who believe gas cars are bad for the environment. And so they look for alternatives. Now, this is not enough to buy Tesla. See, worrying about pollution and warming, it's a big thing. You talk about it all the time. You get on groups and you talk about it, blah, 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 blah. You think gas cars are bad for the environment. Gasoline is bad for the environment. That's not enough to buy Tesla. That'll get you to buy a Prius, which is a cheaper and less sexy car. Are you with me? What do you need to buy a Tesla? What more do you need? What other problem are you solving for somebody? Anybody guess? Anybody? Let me guess. Let's see if you got anybody. Okay, so what's the deal here? Believe cars. So let me tell you, they want sex appeal. Prius is not a sexy car. So we're going to go looking for something sexy. Well, gosh, what is that? What's the alternative they offer? An electric car that doesn't pollute. So we got that, right? Got the climate, the warmers, all those people. And it is sexy and fast and does things like you call it out of the garage and it comes running to you, driving to you. All of these things together. You see? So if you're worried about pollution, worried about warming, that's one phase of the problem. But now you say, but I don't want to buy one of these electric cars like a Prius because it's kind of ugly, let's say. So how do you what do we have? Well, these are electric cars for people who want not to pollute and take care of the environment and blah, blah, but they don't want a kind of plain Jane ugly car. What do they want? They want sexy and fast. So along comes Tesla. You see? You see that? So there are quite a few, and that's what they put out there. Cars that don't do harm to the environment for people who worry about the environment, worry about pollution, but they also don't want just a plain Jane car because they worry that, well, I might get a good, environmentally friendly car, but I look like my grandma driving around in a Prius or whatever they've got. You see that? All of those issues are all there. Just want to be sure that you see these are all based on either desires people have or things that they don't want. And I'm going to show you in the formula here how you can create that. You see that? You see, and so it's again, what is the problem that it is solving? What is sexy and fast an answer to? Unsexy and looking like a box or your grandma. That's the problem many people don't have. They don't want to drive around in something that looks like a box or a paper bag. They want something sexy and fast. And so that solves that problem that they feel, that desire that they have. All right? You see how this works? So you want to be thinking about what's the problem, okay? So that's what they put out there. And they enroll their people into the Tesla program. And more and more and more of them. I guess their sales are just going through the roof, despite the stock sitting in the tank, relatively speaking, in a while. But it comes from the problem, okay? Yep. And if you think, Kayleen, about it's a status object to initiate a communication starter. Yes, that is what it is. But always step back and think, what is the problem that somebody has who is looking for a status object to initiate a communication starter? It's very tricky, but you have to step back because what it is, a status object to initiate, that may be what it is, but it isn't the problem that the person had. We didn't identify that problem. And that is what you need in order to market so that they will choose a status object. Because nobody goes around saying, I want a status object so that somebody's going to start talking to me. Nobody actually says that. You see, so you have to say the words a person would say before they choose to buy the Ferrari or the Tesla. Do you all see what I mean? We can all describe it all we want, but that isn't what motivates the buy. And that's the whole focus that our industry and all of sales and marketing on the internet has had. It's the product, and features of the product. That is not what sells anybody. And that's why so many people have trouble enrolling people. And it's why I think we have had no trouble with that for many years, because we've learned to focus on the problem that they say they have. And we put that out there. And when people have that problem, they look for a fix of some kind, and we offer one of them. Do you see that? You see it? Okay. All right. Does this make sense? So far, so good. We're talking about what's the problem or the concern that people have that we have an answer to, because that is what you need to address. Right? Wow, okay. What's the problem you're about? So that is really the question. What's the problem or the concern that you and your business and your product are about? I'm going to give you examples here, but that's the question to ask. What is the problem? Not the product, not the company, not the pay plan. The problem humans feel, like maybe you did, that you're about, okay? Who feels it? Because it's not going to be everybody. Not everybody buys a Tesla. Not everybody buys an Apple. Not everybody buys a Mac. Not everybody has an iPhone, right? All right, maybe you better go walking, Blair. Show your bod. Who feels it? Because it's not going to be everybody. So you have to call those people. And how are you fixing their so-called pain? We're going to call a desire or a problem somebody has their pain point. Okay. Tony Robbins says that people are way more inclined to fix pain, issues, problems that they have, than they are to go toward things that they want. So we'll focus right here on the pain point. Okay. That's different. Okay. So what was the pain point for the Tesla buyers? They worry about the environment. They worry about climate change. They worry about regular gas guzzlers harming the environment. So they look for a car that does not do those things. One answer is electric cars. However, in particular, in addition, Tesla buyers also don't want to look like they're driving around in their grandmother's car. They want something sexy. They want something that's fast. that attracts girls. And so Tesla made itself sexy and fast. There's a waiting list for most of those cars for years. You see? So you're describing the problem that the person has where you have something that could solve it. You don't lead with the thing that you have. Everybody does that. That's why nobody listens to them. Nobody cares about your great product. If you don't know what problem you can solve, you're cooked. And I'm showing you how to do this. And then you need something different. What is different about your car? Well, when Tesla came out, who knows what was different about Tesla from all the other electric cars that had been made to that date? Right. Anybody know what the difference was between Tesla and the other electric cars at the time that were out? Let's see. Do you have answers in there? Sexy, fast, and hard to get. They were sexy, they were fast, and they were hard to get. There were a waiting list for 3 years for Teslas. 3-year waiting list. You see that? All of that. Sexy, hard to get. Okay. And self-driving has just been a feature in the last year. Initially, 3 years ago, that's what was different. They were electric car, good for the environment, electric car that's sexy and fast. That's what made that itself. Okay, does that make sense? All right. So let me give you an example of how we do this. Okay. And remember, it's very easy to talk about the product and the features of the product. That is not the way to market. People don't care if you've got the best product if they don't have the problem. Let me give you an example. I am not a golf player. I've really never been interested in playing that game. I'm like a tennis person. So if, what's his name? Tiger Woods, I guess he's pretty cool dude in that field, in that area. If he were to come to, I don't know, town and say, I'm going to be signing golf clubs and selling golf clubs and all that, there would be a huge crowd in the Los Angeles area somewhere, a huge crowd. But it wouldn't include me. Why? I'm not interested in golf. I don't really care about buying clubs. I'm never going to play and blah, 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 blah. So you see, if you're not interested in getting a lesson from that one of the number one golf players in the world, what is your problem? Oh man, if I could say I had a lesson with Tiger Woods, wouldn't that be absolutely awesome? Or if you're into soccer, who won that? Argentina won, right? So the guy called Messi, if he came to town, for those of you that are soccer fans, you would stay up all night to be able to go. What's the problem? Oh, if I missed him, I'd be sick. So you'd go to Messi and go see him. Okay. So you think about what can you put out as the problem so that people who have it come and say, yeah, I have that problem. I want to fix for it. And it will only be a small part of the population. But since we have, like in the US, 350 million people, if you got a couple of thousand of them to buy your product, you'd be great. Wouldn't you? Yeah. So think about the problem. So I'm going to give you a post we did. Recently, we started an experimental team. I build businesses that I like. We have high ticket coaching program, and every 3-4 years, I build a business in the network marketing field because first of all, I love the model when it's properly done. And I also look for testing things in different market times. Like this is a time for Facebook. It's a time for, Twitter. It's a time for social media, all of that. So I like to test all kinds of ways to see how fast we can build in any environment. Okay. So that's why I think you'll appreciate this. So I made a Facebook profile post, okay, on my profile. And Facebook is very stingy about giving people any exposure. They want you to buy ads. So some of you guys are going to go, yeah, well, you're Kim Klaver. And so if you're going to post something, everybody's going to listen. They don't, because Facebook doesn't show it to people. Every post that I make and that you make, you have to earn likes and views. You just do. There's nothing given anymore. Used to be you could make a post, and if you have 5,000 followers or 300, everybody would get a notification. No more. I have, 10,000 viewers. And if I make a post and there isn't anybody who likes it or responds, it stays at 0. day after day after day after day. And then I figure I have a crappy post, but Facebook, it may not be crappy at all. Facebook just didn't forward it to anybody because nobody interacted. And to get an interaction, you have to earn that. Nobody gives it to you. Even on ads, you may spend a lot of money on ads and not get any clicks because the copy is not good enough to attract the people that you want. So you got to get better. Are we good with this? All right, I'm going to show you the post right now. So this is a post for a program that we are promoting. This is the experimental team. So this was the post. You want to see it? Yes or no? Let me see. We got it? All right, here goes. Here's the post. I'll read it to you. It says, I made a picture out of it. 1 in 3 people take pain meds every day. Some want off. The dots, in quotes, have already saved thousands. Ask if you want off too. Notice, this is stating, to my mind, what I believe is a problem. Now, you may not think that is a problem at all, and you skip right over it. Many people will skip right over something like this. Why? Same reason I don't care about Tiger Woods and golf. I don't care about golf. But I happen to think that 1 in 3 people taking pain meds every day, like Wowee, some want off. I know I'm not one, but oh my gosh, most of the people I know are on some kind of everyday pain meds. And some of them want to get off. Then I say the dots have already saved thousands. That's the product type that's in the process. Ask if you want off too, period. You got that? Notice, we're talking about the problem that I see. Y'all see that? Tell me yes, you see the problem. Say yes, yes. Let me see yes, so I know you've got it. It's not about, here's how you get off. No, it's not. We have a great thing for people who want to get off. No, that's all product. You have to stop with that. Go back. What's the problem? To me, this is a problem. Ask if you want off too. I posted this December 4. So it's like, I don't know, 8-10 days ago. We got 34 comments. It started with one. One person said, oh, I saw a post of yours through Jordan's page, Jordan Adler, and intrigued me. Info, please. So it's not, check your PM. So there's a whole process, psychological process to this, but 34 people requested information and said, I want to know how I might, what you've got that could maybe help me solve this problem. Do y'all see this? This is not about, they don't know what it is. Nobody knew and still knows what the product is because nobody cares. If you're one of the 1 in 3 who take pain meds every day and you're in this group, some want off. And this has already saved thousands. Ask if you want off too. We had like 34 people. And I think in the, I'll show you here. We had 34 requests for information. 5 people have enrolled so far. Just, we put the people through the process, see if they're good fits. Do y'all see this? Okay. Notice there's no claim. There's no, this is the greatest. Nobody even knows what the product is. Do you all see that nobody knows what the product is? The product is not talked about, nor is any feature of the product talked about. Tell me you see this. Say yes, yes, yes. If you have it. Okay, so what is the story that I have told here? Remember, I told you we're going to enroll people through stories. What's the story that I just told? Who can tell me the story? It's right there. What is it? Does anybody get this? Are we just going over your heads or what? Because I don't want to do that. What is the story here? What is the situation that I am saying we're addressing this situation? What does the first line say to you? 1 in 3 people take pain meds every day. That's the story. That's the problem. There's a way to get off pain meds. Yeah, but that's not the story. The story is 1 in 3 people take pain meds every day. 1 in 3 people lose a child to cancer every day. 1 in 3 people who take the jabs, end up with myocarditis every day. That is the story, the situation, the problem, dissatisfaction. Let's see, how do I say this? The situation that is to be addressed. To me, 1 in 3 people take pain meds every day and some want off. And we have a way to do that because we've already saved thousands of people. This thing has already saved thousands of people. That's the story. Right? So if you are somebody who's 1 in 3 who takes pain meds every day and you want to get off because of the side effects, would you want to know what this is? Yes or no? Tell me yes or no. Would you want to know? Yes or no? And if you like your pain meds every day and you don't believe in any of the alternative woo-woo crazy stuff and you think it's all quackery, then you wouldn't care. But you see, it's the problem that I'm addressing that would draw somebody in. All the people who responded said, oh, like this one. This lady here ended up enrolling, and she said, I'm a nurse. We see hundreds and hundreds of people every month who are on pain meds every day and they can't get off. So the nurse said, what's she talking about? The solution? No, the problem. I see thousands of people that have gotten the vaccination and now they're sick, let's say. Is that the solution? No, it's the problem. You see? Thousands of people with their hair falling out. What is that? Is that the solution or the problem? No, it's the problem. People with their hair falling out. People who weigh 300 pounds and they can't stop eating the chips. That's the problem. Have I got you sold here? And every person who responded here, you know what they said? Things like, I want to look through this. My mom has pain with rheumatoid arthritis. Every person said, I have rheumatoid arthritis. I have aches and pains. I chipped my hip and I have some kind of ache and pain. Nobody said, what do you have? Nobody. They all told us, 34 people so far, that they had the problem and specifically what kind of problem they had. Are you seeing this? Because when they tell you, I have this problem first, and we have an alternative solution, we're going to have a lot of people that have a basic interest and are not going to block us when we give them the information. Are you seeing this? Tell me, yes, you got this. Do they have the problem? See? Are you guys there? It's tricky, isn't it? Let me give you another example. I did another post where you call out the problem. We're not calling out the solution. We're calling out the problem. Okay. So this is a post I did I don't know, last year. I found it on my slides, and I just wanted to show you on my this is an old Facebook. I change out my Facebook banners, every few months. And this called out the problem. It said at the top here, you can't read it very well. Makes you laugh. What do you do for the brother-in-law? Is that one of those things? Make them say, really, tell me more. That's the problem on that side. And I'm telling them, if you have that issue, don't know what to say, I'll give you some one-liners, just so you know. Okay. On the yellow arrow there, it tells you where you post on your Facebook profile. Okay, so that's what I did. So the post. This had like 200, now it has like hundreds more comments. And sometimes famous people will comment on your post, like Russell Brunson commented on this one. And because he did, hundreds and hundreds more people also commented. But here was the post that I made. Sorry, I don't know why I can't talk very well. Let's see. See if you can find the problem. I'm going to read it to you because it's hard to read. Here's the post. Too late. Personal note from my dear friend and business partner just now. Kim, I had a friend who found out that he had pancreatic cancer 2 weeks ago, and I've been trying to help. And he died at 10:15 this morning in his 50s. I've known him for 20 years. Of course, he never cared what he ate. And suddenly, when dying, they want someone like me to fix them. And in this case, it was too late. Okay, what's the problem I'm talking about here? Who sees the problem? What are we talking about? What's the problem? Let me see who can get this. I know this is kind of tricky. What's the problem? Okay, we're going to have to give a class in this for sure. What's the first line? What are the first two words? Who can read the first two words? The first two words are too late. It's too late. That's the problem. Yes. I had a friend who found out he had cancer 2 weeks ago. He died at 10:15 this morning in his 50s. That's the problem. It's too late. The guy or friend of hers just died today. What's the next thing? Of course, he never cared what he ate. And suddenly, when dying, they want someone like me to fix them. And in this case, it was too late. So what are we talking about? It's too late. He missed the boat. He died. Are you all, tell me you get this. It's too late. That's the problem. So what happened? And then I, of course, put this image here so you could see that somebody like us, we still have a chance to get up out of that coffin and think, oh my gosh, can I make a change? So what I did here in the post, would you like to see the rest of it? So you can see how we do this? Tell me yes or no. Because I have it here. I can show it to you or not. Because if you don't get this, you will have trouble recruiting your entire life. It's the problem that draws the people to you to make them want what you have before they even know what your specific product is. And if you don't understand that, you'll be marketing, you'll be talking to 100 people and get 2 in. Instead of the way we do, talk to 10 people and 8 sign up. If you want to talk to 10 people and 8 sign up, they have to be totally on board with the problem that you can solve. Does that see? Primary prevention, Ugo, yes, that is the solution, but it's not the problem. What is the problem? Right here. Too late. It's too late. It's too late to get into Harvard. It's too late to take the private jet. It's too late and he died. It's too late and he didn't get to the show on time. So the prevention is the solution, but it's not the problem. Does everybody see what the problem is? Too late. Too late. That is the problem. 2 words. It's too late. That's why I started there. Okay. Now here's what the post said. I'll give you the pieces here so you can see it. So our friend never cared about what he ate, and then he asked for her instant fix too late. Let me say this in her defense. It's hard to eat right when healthy food doesn't taste good. I am going to the other side now. It's hard to eat when healthy food doesn't taste good. I believed that for years. So 25 years ago, when I met a nutritionist who's a gourmet chef and a hedonist food lover and blah, 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 I've been following her eating guidelines for 25 years. Why? Because why am I doing this? Because I'm in the same Saj I was in college. I jog daily, I write daily, I dream of how I can be better and help others, blah, 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 blah. So you might be asking, who is this Wonder Woman nutritionist? Notice, too late. My friend didn't want to eat right. And then he hoped I was going to fix him in 2 weeks. He never cared what he ate. So then he died. Instant fixes are too late. So what did I do? Well, instead of saying, well, what an idiot he was, he deserved to die, I say in his defense, the bad eater, it's hard to eat when healthy food doesn't taste good, right? A lot of healthy food doesn't taste good. Why? They take all the fat out. Of course, it doesn't have any taste. Good fat's good for you. It's what's in your brain. So I said but 25 years ago, I came across somebody who's a nutritionist, and I'm keeping my shape together, and I have good food that I eat all the time, blah, 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 blah. And so what I'm saying here is that many people die because the healthy food tastes crappy. And it was too late. I used him as an example, but you don't have to eat crappy tasting food to be healthy. And then I introduced them to a nutritionist, my own nutritionist, because of this story. and said, if you want to get on her plan after 30 days, if you want this, and if you agree, the nutritionist crazy eating advice makes food like substances available look yucky. If you want these things, tell me if you'd like access to the book. So from too late, he didn't want to eat the right food. I go, yep, I understand, because that's the problem. A lot of people don't want to eat healthy food because it tastes terrible, because it has no fat. But I've been eating healthy food and I love how it tastes, because my friend puts a lot of fat in it. And she's written this book. And would you like to see a copy and get on the program for 30 days and see if you love it and not get fat? And that was right. If you're still above ground, it may not. My PS is, if you are still above ground, it may not be too late to start over. So this is the call to action. So we had 275 comments. This was 6 months ago, and dozens and dozens and dozens of her book sales. So do you see how this goes? Everybody see that? You want to see the pieces? How you structure this? Problem first. Okay, let me see if you guys are still here. Okay. So number one, inside the marketing process of enrolling people, number one, who do you help? What's the problem and how are you different? That's what you got to know first. Not the features of the product. Who are you helping with what problem? Like with Tesla, people who are worried about the environment, worried about warm climate. What's the problem? They don't know what to get. Electric cars look kind of clunky. So if I could get one, what's different? It's sexy and fast. All right. You see how this works? Then you have to get people's attention. How are you going to post words like we did here? How do we get their attention? 1 in 3 people take pain meds every day. That's the problem I'm trying to solve. So I put that right out there. Okay. For this one, for Tesla, it would be something else. How do you get attention? You put the problem out there, not the product, not the company, the problem. And then you draw people in little by little as you show a little bit more. And how you go down the rabbit hole and you look for things and see if you like it. Next thing is you demonstrate that you know what you're talking about. And you can have a PDF, you can have audios, you can have videos, but you've got to demonstrate that you know what you're talking about. And that has nothing to do with what the company offers. It has to do with the content that you put out on your Facebook or in your email or Instagram, wherever you're using. Okay. And we show how to do this. Then you're going to interview people. Now, we have automated all of this, but that's what you do. You ask certain questions. And the question is not, do you want this? Right? Okay. And I'll show you how this works. The interview. Okay, let me see here. 1 second. And then the last one is you enroll 8 out of 10. Hang on a second. Let me show you this before we get to there we are. Okay. So who are you helping? What's the problem? What's different about your solution? Number one, how do you get their attention when you post or call them on the phone or do Instagram, whatever you're doing? How do you draw them in? How do you demonstrate that you know your stuff so that in today's world, there are so many alternatives and so many options. If you don't demonstrate that you know the problem and the issues, they won't buy from you. They'll buy from somebody else or go to Amazon. Then you conduct an interview, you ask certain questions. And then in the end, like what we have, we enroll 8 out of 10 people. That's what happens. Okay. Now, in terms of people falling off, you're going to maybe talk to 100 people and you'll end up with 10 of them that you talk to on the phone, finally, after they've gone through all this process. And the places where you'll lose people, where we ourselves opt out as humans, when you get the attention, like say, what's the problem we're helping? People, the 1 in 3 some of whom want to get off the pain meds because they don't want the side effects. Okay, that's the problem. So I get their attention and I put up a post like I just showed you. 1 in 3 have this, some want to get off, blah, 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 blah. Right there will be some people, including some of you here, who say, I like my meds or I don't care about that. And so you will opt out. No problem. I don't hear it. You just don't pay any more attention. Okay, so this is the process that you go through, that we all go through. Next, we might attract and draw you in. You might see a little bit more information, like some stories about some people. And you may go, nah, I don't, it's too complicated, or I don't want to do that. So this is the second place where people will fall away, because marketing is a process of elimination, eliminating all the people for whom the problem that you have and your solution is not a match. That's why do you think we have all these different kinds of cars, or neighborhoods, or homes, or schools, or microphones, or water, or glasses? There's to each his or her own. Okay, so that's another place you lose them. Another place you might do a demonstrate that you know your stuff, and there will be a few people here who fall away, not as many. And here, more people will fall away after we do the interview. And by the time we're done and have this last enrollment place, we're looking at 8 out of 10 people who come into the business. Does this make sense to you? Do you see how this process works? You see how this works? Yeah. It's not easy. You don't do it just overnight. But, they tell you it's easy and anyone can do it. And you can look at the dropout rate, and you can look at your own checks, look at your own income. How much money are you making? How easy is it really? We live in a very different world today, very different than what we did before. And everybody has something that they want to market. And if you don't promote to a problem that matters to somebody, they will never pay you enough. Because if somebody earlier here said, I have high ticket, we do too. I bought a program. We have somebody, and their lowest of the high ticket, they have a program for $100,000 for coaching, $250,000, and $1 million. And they have people who buy the $1 million program and the $250,000 program and the $100,000 program every month. So do we have the money? Half the time, no. But we find it because we so want to become the person we think we're going to be if we go through that program and transform ourselves. It's like going to the gym for 5 years. You're going to look really different, right? All right. So let me show you something that all of these are little lessons that we teach you in the process of our big school program, not the $100,000, the $15,000 program. And of course, we teach you this in the experimental team for the 1 in 3 adults are on pain meds, and some of them want to get off. So who do you help? What is the problem? So in the first section here, we would focus on the problem versus the product. No matter what you market, it solves a problem for somebody, and you need to know what that is. All of you should have your own before and after story. Do you all have that for whatever you market? Do you have your before and after story? Like, before my situation was like this, and now my situation is like that? Who's got that? Everybody have one of those? Because if you don't, you won't be able to make this distinction. So you might say, before I was on this product, I never used to get my 5 to 9 fruits and veggies. Let's say this is one of the products we did 25 years ago. And now, even if I don't eat them all, I get the nutrients. So now I know I'm getting the 5 to 9 fruits and veggies. Who's it for? People who know they should be getting their 5 to 9 fruits and veggies every day, let's say, and they're not getting them, and they want to find some way to do it without having to eat all that stuff. Buy it, clean it, cook it, eat it, and put it all away, right? You see how this works? Whose words do you use? You don't ever want to use words out of your company brochure. No, never. Because nobody normal says them. You want to use the words from the people in your market that have the problem. Right? Those are the words you want to use. So for example, let's say that I'm marketing a network marketing training program, and that a lot of people tell me I can only do this part-time. Okay. How many of you, if you were in a good program that you really could get behind, could spend at least an hour a day focused? Not turn on the TV, not turn on the internet, not turn on Twitter, an hour a day focus. Right? I really spend an hour a day. A lot of you can't even spend 3 minutes without turning on to something else. Right? But you'd have to spend an hour. But let's say, and you say, well, what could I do in an hour a day in 365 days? Right? If you knew what to do, right? Because doesn't everybody tell you it's easy? Anyone can do it. Just talk to a few people and you'll get rich. Isn't that what they say? but nobody here is rich yet, else you wouldn't be here. So I listened to people and they said, well, I could do 45 minutes a day, but so what I did was I didn't say I have a way for you to do it. Here's how to make all this money part-time. I would never say anything. Why? Because it's a promise you can't keep for anybody, right? An hour a day, right? So whose words to use? I use the words of my market, people like you right here. And you know what the question that I posted on my Facebook profile was? Is it really possible to get 100 customers in 100 days working 45 minutes a day? Is it really possible to build a business to replace my income in 45 minutes a day? Do you hear that? Do y'all see how that works? Is it really possible to do that? And then I made a post and showed them what the options were. We got like 100 people signing up for something where they're paying like $1 a day, $30 a month, probably in 24 hours. So what was the problem? I took your words, our people's words. Like if I were to go up here and say, okay, so what were some of the obstacles that you gave me at the beginning? Where you said, okay, what's the obstacle? How come you're not enrolling the way you want? Okay, here's one. I want to know how to start the conversation without sounding like I am pitching something. Okay, Dawn gave this as her problem. Why are you not enrolling the way you want? Well, because I'm in groups and I want to start the conversation, but I don't want to start being all pitchy. How many of you agree that that's a problem? You would post in more groups or post more on your page if you didn't sound pitchy. You don't want to sound like you're pitching, right or wrong? What are we doing here? Right? So what right as a post? What's the problem? If I could help you pitch in a group and not sound pitchy, would you like to see the script? What have I done? Take your problem, right? And you tell me yes or no. You want to see the script? So did I start with my script? Oh, I got this great script for posting in groups. None of you would have probably said much of anything unless you know my work, because it happens that I do deal in words a lot. But I'll take your problem. If you're worried about pitching in groups, or if you don't want to post in groups because you don't want to pitch your product, here's the script we've used to enroll new customers from 5 different groups this past month. Would you like to see the script? How many of you are going to say, yes, show me the damn script? Where is it? Where is it? And if I were selling script language, which we do, you would say, where is it? Show me the thing. I would show you it. And then say, if you would like more to see how we do this in other situations, click here and come to a class and we'll show you what we do. Do you see how this is all about? I'm using your words, not my words. And then you ask, what are the consequences to them if they don't fix it? So take Dawn, who says, well, I don't want to post in groups because I don't want to sound pitchy. All right, if she doesn't fix that, what is going to happen to her business as far as being in groups? What's going to happen to her business? Tell me. What's the consequence of that, Dawn? If you don't ever use the groups and say anything because you're afraid you're going to sound pitchy, is she going to pitch in groups? Yes or no? Yeah. Is she going to pitch in groups if she thinks she's going to be pitchy? How many of you want to pitch in Facebook groups because you think you're going to be pitchy? Or you don't want to do it? You guys there? Right? She's not going to do anything. Her business is going to eventually crash or do nothing. So if you're worried about talking about your product in groups, and that if you don't do that, you won't have a business and you'll be working your job forever, click here. See, so all of these are things that come from a problem that you have said that you have. I don't want to post in the group because I don't want to be pitchy and they'll kick me out. We have people posting in groups all the time and teach them exactly how to do it. So they not only not get kicked out, but they get hundreds of responses from people in the groups, exactly like what I just showed you here. It's all about focusing on the problems that they have using their words. And then you tell that story in their words. So that's how this works. These are the kinds of things that we help you with, regardless of what you market. Okay. Is this clear? I think it's kind of heavy duty for some of you guys. And I'm sorry to say that, but the marketing, the way they have been teaching it for so many years in our industry, is in today's world designed to have you fail. People will run away. People will block you because all you're doing is telling about how great your thing is. You see, Tesla doesn't pitch environmentally friendly cars because the people who buy already know that. They already know. That's why they come to the car in the first place. They sell fast and sexy, and P.S. it's electric. You see, they know their people. The people that we have in the 1 in 3 are on daily pain meds who want to get off or help people get off. They're all people who already have suffered from being on daily pain meds and worse. And they want to help people get off. I don't have to sell the problem. They already feel the problem. You see how that works? You've got to find people who have the problem that you solve, and they had it before you ever got there. So they go, oh yeah, I gotta see. That's how you do that. So, I have a couple options for you guys. Really nothing heavy duty. I have 1 or 2 options, but I wanted to ask you, how many of you have read the story of the doomed fly? There's a guy named Pritchett who has a book called U Squared, and he talks about this fly that he sees on the window. You go camping or you sit in your cabin or maybe sometimes in your own living room, and on the right side where the window is right now, you see this fly and you hear bzz, bzz, and the thing is flying all over the place. And like, bzz, seeing the fly, and there it is. And you see it, and it keeps attacking the window. It does it over and over and over and over and over. And he said, I'm listening to the desperate sounds of a life or death struggle going on a few feet away, because he's writing about this and he sees the fly, bzz, and he says, 5 or 10 feet away is an open door. Does the fly go there? Well, they don't. And so the bottom line is they usually end up dying on the windowsill. And you may think you're not a fly, but in fact, we all are flies. We all have blind spots. We think working harder, talking to more people is the way to go. It isn't if you're saying the wrong stuff. If you're constantly leading with how great your business, your product, or whatever it is, you will have an incredibly difficult time getting anyone to listen, because that's what everybody does. So you do it harder and harder and harder, and then you die, as in you give up the ghost. You see what I mean? And that is what the problem is. It's not that we're acting like the doomed fly, because the activity of the doomed fly, which is talk to people and tell them how great your thing is, will send you right down the fly death knell. No matter how hard you do it, most people cannot take that many no's. They have a thing called go for no. Psychologically, sure, I get it. But we go for yes. Why? We put people through so many steps that they self-select all the way. By the time we ever talk to anybody, out of 10 people, we sign up 8. Why? Because we've walked them through the self-selection process. And it's painless for them and for us, because we don't hear no. That's what we've learned to do over all these years. And if you want to make a significant income, enough to quit your job, make $4,000 or $5,000 a month, I'm talking to you. If you're just looking for a little bit of money, cover your product, I would still do this, because why would you want to talk to 100 people and get 2 yeses when you can learn what the problem is that your product solves? And you could start with you. You could start with you. I did an internet company with David Wood years ago, and we hit the top spot. I mean, making 10 grand almost every day in that program. And we sold an internet marketing program. And what was the problem? Well, my problem was I didn't really know how to use email back then properly. I didn't even know how to put a link in an email. So I thought, oh my gosh, that's a terrible problem. I asked my people, hey, do you guys know how to use the internet to market? Like Mike Dillard? No idea. Okay, so if you don't know how to use the internet, and there are 18 zillion people on the internet, if you want to learn how to use it, click here. What was it the problem? Don't know how to use the internet. There's a zillion people. What do we do? That's the problem. I'm doing that. I'm learning it myself. I'll learn how to do it. I'll teach it to you. Come in the program if you want. Problem-based. You see that? Tell me, yes, you got it. That's what you want to do. Otherwise, you can stay the way you are. No, nothing ventured, nothing gained. And don't change what you do, and eventually you'll quit. It's just too hard. It's too hard. Nobody in the right mind is going to want to hear no, 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 no. Especially when a lot of people would be saying yes if you address the problem with their words instead of talking the stuff out of the brochure, like it works at the cellular level. Do you really think anybody gives a crap? If I listen to this, let's say I said, if you want her to beg you for it 3 times a week, click here. Or if you want him to beg you for it 3 times a week, click here. Do y'all hear what I said? How many people do you think would click and say, I want to know, how do I make them beg me for it 3 times a week? How many people would say, yes, you want to know? Let me see in the chat. Answer me in the chat. See if you're still here. Yes or no? How to make him beg you for it 3 times a week? Click here. What's the problem? Not getting enough sex. I've got to have more. They say it keeps you young. Does anybody ask what the product is? No. Does anybody ask who's asking? No. Everybody says yes. How do you do that? That is marketing. You're putting out the problem. People aren't getting enough sex. Right? And then you have to do some additional things. You have to create attraction statements, because not just if you're not getting enough sex, click here. People are going to think, oh my God, they're probably selling all the equipment. No, no, no. You have to craft the question in such a way that, or the statement in such a way that a person goes, I want to know what that is. And once you have somebody who says, I want to know what that is because I have that problem, I want to fix it, then you tell them, attract more and more and more so that the person is happy and grateful that they found you. Okay. All right. So that's what you want to do. So what's next? Can you help me? Some of you guys, I'm looking in here, many of you are in one or other of our programs already. I'm going to give you 2 options today, and they're both where you're going to connect with somebody else. You want to know what they are? If you want to work with us and learn this, are there people here who'd like to learn how to market like this so that in the next 12 months, you actually can be earning maybe enough to quit a job that's $4,000 or $5,000 a month? Let me see if there's anybody here like that. Because if not, it's okay. We're done. This is what I wanted to show you today. All right. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 options here. One is we have the big school. It's called the 6-Figure Advisor, and the program is designed to run 6 or 8 weeks. And we have several of you that are actually in this program that are here. It's in several hundreds of people are in there. You can take up to a year, and it shows you these steps that I've showed you here. And if you are interested in that, you have to apply. Go to maxout.com/pick-me. And here's how, HTTPS. I'm going to put it in the group here. Maxout.com, pick me. Okay. Do y'all see that? Can somebody click on that link? Joanne, could you click? Moore, could you click on it? Rick, could you click on it? Leslie, my little boyfriend, can you click on it? In German, can tell me if it opens. Yeah, just tell me if it opens. Just say yes, opens. Let me make sure that it does. It opens? Okay, good. Yeah, because what you'll see is you'll come to this page. It's a little form. We're just asking you, what is your situation? And what would you be looking to get out of working, us helping you get to the place where our goal is to show you the steps and encourage you to go through the steps so that you learn to figure out what the problems are that you solve with what you have, if you love what you have, and how to bring people through a process like what I just showed you here, so that the process is set up and 90% of the work is done through the process that we create, with each person, so that when you finally interview them, you have an interview template script and people are 8 out of 10 ready to sign up to go. And I'll talk about the question about signing up customers or signing up recruiters here in just a minute, if that lady's still here who had the question. Okay. So you would be talking to, when you fill out that form, there's a chance to book a chat, 15-minute chat, to see if we can help you or not. We're very laid back. We really don't need more business. We have enough of our own, and now that we're building something new, there's very little time to help folks anymore. But we always can take somebody who's committed, is ready to completely transform themselves into somebody who can make it happen. You just didn't know how to do it. But if you've got something and you love it and it's helped you and you know it can help people, apply. Because if you don't learn how to market and bring the people to you who already want what you have, you will die with your business, and you're going to be staying with your job or whatever else you're doing that you don't like as much. Okay. That's one thing. Okay. Now, some of you have already messaged to say that you want to find out about that experimental team that we're happen to be building with this particular thing here. The 1 in 3 people take pain meds every day. That's what we're doing. I'm training in that. We are setting up all kinds of interesting things for people that are in between things, and you're footloose and fancy free, and you're ambitious, and this matters to you, that the pain meds every day, and that some people want off, and that you know that, and you may be among them. If this is something that you think is a big problem for yourself, and or you want to help people get off that, and that is the career you want to pursue with us, you can do that if you want to, because the mission is to save people who want off daily pain meds and the side effects. That's the specific focus that this is. Okay. So if you want that, what should you do? Here, there's no place to link here. There's nothing to see here. Let me have you do this. Help at KimKlaverAcademy.com. Okay. If you see that, and see if that email link works, help at KimKlaverAcademy.com. We have folks standing by there, and put in the subject, just copy this, experimental team, please. And we will hook you up, and you can see if whether or not this is something that you really want to do or not. Because believe me, we say no first right away, because we only want to work with people who love what they're doing, and who want this to succeed. Nobody wants to work with whiners. Well, that didn't work, so now what am I going to do? Let me tell you about things that don't work. So see that in the chat, everybody, if you're interested in that particular team. Now what you do is help at KimKlaverAcademy.com. I put it in the link. You see it there? And in the subject, put experimental team, please. And there are people standing by right there right now who will hit reply and give you a link to check out to see whether or not it's something that you want to do. And you'll see a short mission statement there. And then there's some questions. And if you pass, if you're philosophically aligned with us, then we'll talk to you and see if what we can do together. That's only for people that are in between, that are ambitious, driven, and bored, and want to join this type of a movement. That's what we're doing. Okay. It opens. Yeah, no, that's what you want to do. Because what we do is we teach people how to do the horribly boring things of marketing. I'm just tell you right now, marketing, the learning to market is very boring. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger said, he had to do the push-ups and the repetitions, they call them reps. And he said he did 5 or 6 years of reps when he wanted to become Mr. Universe. Arnold Schwarzenegger came from Austria. He didn't speak a lot of English. His English is pretty good now. But what happened to him is he wasn't happy in Austria. He didn't think he had enough of an opportunity there. So one day he saw pictures of America and the bridge and railroads and big highways. And he thought, I want to come here. So he wanted to come to the United States. I'm also an immigrant. Many of you are too, I can see. So, we came here, or my parents looking for something better, right? And so one day he saw a picture of a magazine in a store of a guy called Mr. Universe. And he was, one of the big bodybuilders. And Arnold decided, I'm going to be that person. I'm going to be just like him. I want to be Mr. Universe. And he was a scrawny nobody. And he went to the gym. He moved to California, came down here in the Venice Beach area, where they have a whole gym with his name and pictures, because he trained there. And every day, 5 or 6 hours, he'd be doing, the push-ups and the bench presses and all that stuff that people do there. And somebody said, well, why are you doing this every single day? Every day, 5 or 6 hours per day, day after day. Some people get messed up if they are calling 5 or 10 people a day, because you can't take the no's, because you don't know how to open the conversation. See, that's why we teach you that. So that doesn't happen. And he said, every repetition gets me closer to being Mr. Universe. And it's very boring. We have a process called the Blitz, which we teach, which we've done for many years. And we have people who sign up 5 or 6 people in a week from the Blitz activities. It's a boring contacting of people with the right information, with the right stuff, until you hit the ones that are the right ones. And we have people doing everything from calling out of the phone book, if you don't know how to communicate at all, just to learn how to do it and not spend a penny on leads, to contacting people that have thousands of people in their influence circle, which we do, and they come and they give us 15 or 20 people to talk to, 9 or 10 of whom sign up. Kaboom, boom, 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 all for anywhere from $500 to $1,500 worth of product to start. And that sounds like a miracle, right? For how many people's like, oh, that sounds like a miracle. Sounds like a miracle, right? Am I right or not? Like, who doesn't want to learn how to do that? But I'm here to tell you that if you are willing to go through the process of learning how to do it, because if you knew now, you wouldn't be here. And what they're teaching you doesn't really help. You can't keep going for no. Go for yes. Lead with the problem. Okay, somebody had asked about, I want to recruit, I don't want to get customers. Was there anybody here like that has that question? Because I'll answer it before we hang up the phone. Because I don't have to answer it. We can be good. Hey, Kayleen, good to see you, girl. Okay, does it open? Does everything open the way it should? Somebody want to know? Lisa Swift, you want to know? Okay, cool. So here's the story with that. We have quite a few people have come over the years and they'll say, okay, Kim, I just want to recruit people because I don't, who wants to get customers? There's no money in customers, right? Okay, let me tell you something. A recruiter is somebody who is like a missionary. Would you agree? Recruiters are kind of like missionary, because what do you have to do? You have to spread the word about something, right? You totally give your life to it in most cases, and you spread the word about something. And why do you spread the word about something? If you're a missionary and you're going to evangelize this or that, what's the reason that you do it? I used to want to be a missionary when I was a kid. Does anybody here want to be a missionary when you were little? Or you wanted to be like a fireman or something? Anybody here like that? Okay, so let's say you want to be a missionary and you want to be a Christian missionary, okay? So there are Christian missionaries, but there are also, would you want to be a missionary and go to, I don't know, Africa, or go to, the inner cities in the United States? And if they said to you, well, we need people for the Muslim, we want people to be Islam missionaries. Would you want to be an Islam missionary if you had signed up to be a Christian missionary? Yes or no? What do you think? Right? You probably wouldn't, right? You probably wouldn't want to do that. Why? Because you can't get behind that. And the Islam people can't get behind probably Christianity and vice versa. A person who recruits has to feel like the product or the program that they're offering can make a big difference to people. And they believe that that is a big problem and that there is a big market. Like, I am a recruiter from way back. I, am pretty much a recruiting machine. I know how to do that. But I only recruit for products where I think the problem is significant, people are really hurting, and they'll pay big money to get rid of the problem. That is what I will become a recruiter for. So if you can't tell me, for example, if you say you want to recruit me, say, oh man, we recruit you, that'd be cool, you're a big machine. I would say, great. What does your product do for people? What's the problem it solves? I don't care what your product is. I don't care what's in it right now. First question is, what's it do for people? What's the problem they have? And what's your edge? What makes you different than all the other options that people are out there? And if you didn't sell me on that, what the problem is, who it's for, and that I didn't make up my mind and say, well, I think that could be a significant problem, so significant that people will pay anything to solve it, I might do that. That's what I did with this, with the one in three people on pain meds. I believe that is a very significant problem. People are having more problems from the daily pain meds than they are from the pain that is supposed to help. So I could get behind that because I believe it's a big problem, and I can put the problem out there and reach people who didn't know there was an alternative. That's what would make me recruit. If you want to have recruiters in your business, you have to know what the problem is and tell the recruiter, look, here's how we can save humanity with this. This is the problem. These are the people. These are the alternatives. And this is how we're different. And if you get a recruiter or somebody who wants to really spread the word like crazy and they can get behind it, that is what will make them do it. Not that your company is Nu Skin or Amway or anything else. We are all individual people and we have to get behind stuff. And behind stuff means, what's the problem it solves? How many people have it? How significant is the problem? Do you understand that? So if you're just saying, I want a recruiter, they'll say, well, what are you selling? Who's it for? What does it do for people? And without that, there won't be any reason for anyone to recruit. Because what is recruiting? Spreading the word. Hey, if you have this problem, blah, blah. If you have this problem, blah, blah. You know, we'll ask people, do you have any constant aches or pains? Or anybody you know have constant aches or pains? Yeah, I do. Boom, right there. That's step one, isn't it? I've sent out, I don't know, 20, 30 of those. And when they say, yeah, or they'll say, no, I don't, but my husband does. Oh, okay, great. What do you do for it now? Well, I do this. And what happens? Well, nothing. Well, you want to see an alternative? Yeah, yeah. And away we go. It's the problem. It's not the product. It's not the product benefits or features or any of that. It's the problem. It's not the business or the product. It's the problem. And how important is it to people out there? And that's when somebody say, well, my product's expensive. That means that the problem, the way that you're framing it, isn't important enough to the people that have it to make them pay the money for it. Because people spend all kinds of money on all kinds of things. So if you think it's expensive yourself, you will likely project that onto somebody else. And what you want to do is reframe it so that the problem is more significant than the cost. Because that's what we do. We buy stuff because we think what we're getting for it is worth more than the money we're laying out. So that's how you would have to do that. Does that make sense? All right, good. Okay, this is what I have for you guys. I am hopeful that this was enjoyable and that you got something out of this. If you want to connect to help us with your current business, which we can do, show you all these things that you saw here today, then you want to go to right here, maxout.com, pick me. I showed you that in the group. Fill out the form and we'll make a date, chat with you. And if you'd like the other, then you come right here. And I put the information there in the chat. You see it there? Email right here. And you can do that. You email here. And you can do, the subject will be experimental team. And somebody will get with you and show you what the next steps are. Right here, like this. All right, you guys? Otherwise, we'll see you next time around. Okay. Any other questions? Anybody have any questions? Questions? Hey, Don. Yeah. How's the modeling business going? Are you all set? Long time no see. Okay, well, we'll be looking for some of your responses already where they're coming in, and that's really great. That's really great. So we'll talk to you soon, huh? Okay, thank you. No questions, right? There wasn't anybody had a question? Because if so, I will do it. Yes, Deborah, what you would do is, did you send an email? Yeah, totally. Yeah, we have a number of people that want to do the experimental team. So Deborah, did you send an email? Yeah, send an email because we have people that are there at this moment. Yeah, the recording gets put up in the Facebook group, the advisors. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, just send it over. Everybody that has it, because once I close this out, the email will also disappear and the link. Both of those will disappear. Okay, everybody have it? All right. See you guys soon. Thanks for coming.